Do you like solving mysteries? Do you like space? Do you like solving mysteries in space? If you replied to any of those with a solid yes, then sit your ass down because you are in for an experience like no other. The Outer Wilds is a sci-fi adventure game developed by Mobius Digital and published by Annapurna Interactive. The Outer Wilds is without a doubt one of the best sci-fi games out there, and I mean that. This game has deserved a spot on my top 10 list, and it'll stay there till the end of time. This lightweight rookie of a game is punching in the heavyweight category with the likes of Halo 3, the Mass Effect series, Subnautica, you name it. Last video, we discussed Cyberpunk 2077, and I love that game. However, it has some major faults with it.
Fuck this shit!
He's fucking crazy!
Now, with The Outer Wilds, it is such a unique and awe-inspiring game that you can't help but fall in love with it. This game topples over many other indie games because of how easy it is to get into and keep playing. It's not like many other indie games where they're very artistic in their design and the narrative to them is quite complex. This game is very simply about exploration, solving a mystery, and interacting with the multitude of environments that this game gives you. But that's what's so great about this game. Everyone can play it with relative ease, and yet still enjoy the experiments with so much energy and emotion as you begin to unravel the story of the Outer Wilds. Now, I do recommend that you first purchase the game and play it yourself, as it is an amazing experience, but I know some people don't have the time, or they have a mountain of games they have to finish first, so I'll still be reviewing the game. However, please pick it up if it's on sale, or you have some extra moolah sitting around on a rainy day, because it is worth the price 10 times over. The first thing you're prompted with is the saying, "Wake up," with the little X button beside it.
No, 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 no!
From there, you awaken to a night sky filled with stars, a large tower in front of you, a distant planet, and the sounds of crickets in a campfire. As well, you see a blue light get shot across the sky, and as you look down at the campfire, you get the prompt to roast a marshmallow, and you roast that thing. Or burn it, you little pyromaniac. Next, you venture to your four-eyed friend, and through speaking with him you learn that you are an astronaut, and it is your launch day for your first solo voyage into your solar system, and in order to do so, little friend tells you that you need a launch code. What is so great about the Outer Wilds is its tutorial as of how well you are introduced to the mechanics of the game in cool ways. As you make your way through your town and as you talk to the townsfolk and the residents of Timberhearth, you are taught mostly everything you need to know about this game, whether it be flying a little drone model of your ship to learn about the flame mechanics and how bad you are at them, or the scanner that lets you take photos from a drone that you can fire out into space and call back instantaneously. You can play a little game with kids from your village to learn how the signal scope works and how you can find other astronauts in your solar system. You also learn how to maneuver in zero gravity as you repair a broken satellite in the zero-G mine, or learn about the dangers of ghost matter. But that's not all. After all of this, you can then go up to the museum and learn almost everything that you need to know about the game. From how stars die, to an ancient alien race called the Nomai, whose relics we found, to these gravity crystals, or the very weird and creepy moving rock that moves when you lose vision of it. Interesting. What enhances the tutorial even more is the writing and dialogue Mobius Digital made for this game. The dialogue is funny and interesting to read, and we haven't even left the planet yet. After you talk with Hornfells and get your launch codes, you can see the map of the solar system and its unique planets that you will eventually visit. We obviously start off at our home planet, Timberhearth, pretty Earth-like, which is accompanied by the Alto Rock, which orbits Timberhearth. It's pretty much its moon. We can then move on to Giant's Deep, which is the planet we see as we awaken. Brittle Hollow, which is being orbited by this volcano moon called Hollow's Lantern. Next is the Hourglass Twins, Ash and Ember, which are the closest to our sun. Farther out we have the Dark Bramble and the Interloper, which is a comet of sorts that has a more unusual orbit around our sun. And this thing that sometimes is on the map, and sometimes isn't. Strange. All of these are the main destinations you can go in the solar system, and by visiting each, you can start to gain knowledge and uncover the secrets lying in each. So, after you get your launch codes, you're all set to leave the observatory, and Yeah, that's weird. But I've got to go to space. Once you make it back to the campsite, you ascend the tower, and it's time for your first voyage into the outer wilds.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Or you could be just like me, who crashed into a tree, proceeded to get it stuck, and then had to drown myself to die. But as I perished, I noticed all my memories are getting played back to me through this mask of sorts, and I wake up gasping for air in the same spot we first started. Weird, huh? So, after that unfortunate beginning, I finally venture off into space, and my first stop is the Alta Rock, mainly because it's the closest to me, and as I begin my exploration of the moon, I point my cinescope towards Timber Hearth, and while I hear a harmonica, but I easily get distracted as I hear whistling coming from the moon, and I venture out to find this crater where we meet our first space friend, the lonely Esker, who very much doesn't want us to leave. From there, he tells us to go north and see what's there. We later find a note from Esker detailing that he's recently been hearing a harmonica from Timber Hearth that belonged to Feldspar, who supposedly died in space. Huh. Interesting. I then pull out my signalscope, and boom! I'm hearing the harmonica, but it's not coming from Timber Hearth, it's coming from Dark Bramble. I later come across this ancient building. I decide to go downstairs and see what's there, and I find Nomai writing on the wall. As we read, we find out that this is something called the Eye Signal Locator, and it finds the position of the planets, but also something called the Eye of the Universe, but it doesn't seem to be working. We later find out that they plan to make a more sophisticated one on Brittle Hollow's South Pole. So I venture up to play with the locator, confirming what the writing on the wall says, as the locator goes out of whack, and as I go back to my ship, I update my log and I decide to venture off to Brittle Hollow. As I'm making my descent, I notice that weird planet floating around it. Huh. I notice something on the surface and go visit it. There, we learn that it is a Nomai escape pod that crashed on Brittle Hollow, and that there's 2 more in our solar system. And as I go to open the emergency escape pod, I slip out and fall towards what I can only call a black hole, and frantically try to save myself. I eventually hit a wall, hurt myself, and hurtled towards the black hole, and from there I am transported to this white hole far away from Brittle Hollow, and slowly deplete my fuel, attempting to go back and perish to suffocation. I then see my memories get played back to me again, and I awaken at the campfire once more. Man, I really suck at exploring space. First I crash my ship and have to end myself, and then I fall into a black hole and suffocate in space. Luckily, on my 3rd attempt, I find Rebeck, chat with him, and explore more of Brittle Hollow, when what I'm standing on falls into the black hole with my ship, and I'm back into the depths of space once more. Luckily, my ship was close this time, and so I venture back to Brittle Hollow to explore more. But damn. The sun's looking more red than usual. But I pay no matter, and as I'm reading more Nomai writing, I hear this loud noise. I pass it off as nothing more than an asteroid hitting the planet, and then oh god, I get enveloped in a blue light and I'm dead once again. From here, we can talk to Slate and tell him our previous death was caused by the sun-going supernova, but he is oblivious to what just happened and talks about the exhibit in the observatory talking about it. These were my first 3 attempts in the Outer Wilds, and it took about an hour to do these runs. The full game is around 10 hours long, but I've watched a speedrun through this game in 10 minutes. Here's the thing though, this game is all about gaining knowledge and piecing stuff together. Who are the Nomai? How did they get here? How did they die? What's the Eye of the Universe? Why can we hear Feldspar's harmonica in 2 places at once? And what the hell is that thing that keeps disappearing in the sky? In time, all of these questions become answered. I still haven't completed absolutely everything, as there's so much stuff to learn, and things that you can easily miss out on. But you can still beat the game relatively quickly, if you know where to go and how to get where you need to go. Everything is available to you as soon as you start. There isn't stuff like a story progression blocking out areas, or a criterion of stuff that needs to be met. This is your sandbox, and you get to control where and how you uncover the secrets of the Outer Wilds. If you're missing some part of the story and have a problem, well, you just need to find that piece, and that is what I love so much about this game. I did not expect to feel absolute terror when I started playing Outer Wilds. I obviously knew of the abundance of dangerous stuff in space. Space is cool as shit. Who wouldn't want to learn about life-threatening events that happen in it? But I was surprised at how much fear and anxiety this game gave me. Every single planet has something to tick off your fear radar, as if dying to a supernova every 22 minutes wasn't enough already. A few examples of these are planets like Brittle Hollow, where you have to maneuver in all sorts of directions, up walls, on ceilings, all the while you are scared of looking up or down at the black hole beneath you, or the fear of drowning from Giant's Deep. And, Dark Bramble. Yeah, that place. This aspect of the game adds so much more to the experience, as these dangers make uncovering the story so much more meaningful and enjoyable, as just being able to present that feeling of fear so well is just astounding. Bravo, Mobius Digital. Bravo. One of the biggest things that pulls me towards playing a game is its soundtrack, and The Outer Wilds nails its atmosphere with its music. Everything plays its part, and nothing feels out of place. Take the first song you'll always hear when you begin on Timber Hearth. It brings along the feeling of excitement as you're about to venture off into the stars, searching for answers and uncovering the mysteries of the solar system. The more sinister pieces convey the terror of the unknown as you uncover what's happening to you and what's going to happen to the universe. Someone told me this about the game, and I must agree with them, that every track feels foreign to you, but at the same time there's hints of familiarity in it. It is stunning at how well each piece fits and plays an important role in controlling the mood and helping progress the story. Speaking of the story, every astronaut that ventured out before you has an instrument that they play, whether it be Rebek's banjo, Gabbro's flute, or Feldspar's mysterious harmonica. Each one plays a part in a song as your signal scope pierces through the sky to find them. Andrew Prilo has crafted a soundtrack so fitting for this game that makes it grow into more than just background music or filler. These amazing pieces help shape the story, environment, and emotions you feel as you complete this game. This soundtrack deserves a 10 out of 10. No funny meme, just a fantastic piece of work that deserves a ton of praise. Now, we're going to be getting into spoiler territory. I'm going to be going over a lot of stuff, including the main ending, so if you still haven't played the game and are interested, skip to this timestamp so you don't get spoiled on something you might want to experience on your own. Okay, now that they're all gone, let's get started. Three major things that I loved about this game was finally being able to understand how the time loop is working, learning about the rules of quantum objects, and actually finding the quantum moon. Yes, that weird thing in the sky that keeps disappearing. And with that, the quantum pilgrimage. As I've said before, this game has an amazing way of telling players how things work, and knowing that you could have easily done this the entire time you spent roaming around collecting knowledge. So, there are three rules for quantum objects. The first is that viewing an image of a quantum object or the object itself are the same thing. That's why when you're either looking at the moon or at that rock in the observatory, they don't move. When you turn away or get rid of an image of it, it'll move somewhere else. The second rule is that if you're in contact with a quantum object and in total darkness, you will travel with that quantum object. This is shown to us on Ash Twin as you travel with a quantum rock in the caves of the planet. The last and final rule is that to reach the sixth location, the tower must be on the North Pole. These rules describe why we see the moon and some trees or rocks disappear because they are quantum objects and follow these rules. And because of these rules, the Nomai created a pilgrimage to the quantum moon, where in order to become an adult, you would have to learn these quantum rules and do a trial to get to the sixth location on the quantum moon. As you land on the moon, it'll appear like whatever planet it's orbiting. and as the lore tells, you will always land on the south side of the planet. From here, you adventure until you find the Quantum Tower, and once you find it, you will be able to use those rules we just discussed to make your way up to the North Pole by moving throughout the different copies of the planets so that you can call upon the Quantum Tower to take you to the 6th location.
What is going on with you? What are you talking about?
Figuring out why and how you are stuck in this time loop is absolutely fantastic. As you slowly start to uncover answers, you learn about how the statues and masks works and how they are connected to something called the Ash Twin Project. These statues are designed to link with the closest living creature to them when they activate, aka us. From that point on, the linked creature's memories are continuously transmitted to the respective mask, and then one of the masks is linked not to a creature, but to this thing called the Orbital Probe Cannon's tracking module, the thing we see blow up at the start of every loop, to receive the coordinates of the Eye of the Universe, should it be found by the probe. Upon activation by the supernova, the memories and coordinates are sent back in time to the linked creature or module through the statue using their warp technology. This puts the creature or module in a perceived time loop that replays the same 22 minutes in a loop until the project is deactivated. Uncovering this feels so satisfying, as you now have finally figured out why and how you were stuck in this time loop, and now you have one thing that can help you get to the Eye of the Universe. The Outer Wilds is a game that no matter how hard I try, I will never be able to obtain the feeling of first playing it. It is the pinnacle of, I want to wipe my mind so that I can experience this again. The true ending of this game is so beautiful, yet it fills your mind with questions about what really is going on as the universe before your eyes is dying out. That final campfire where you get everyone together for one last song made me get emotional, knowing that this was most likely the end of our character's story. But also a new beginning of sorts, as we see later on in the end that 14.3 billion years have passed,
and a new universe has been born.
and it's growing with life. Mobius Digital went from a team that I never knew existed to one that I anticipate great things from. If they keep making games of this quality in both storytelling, but also environment and gameplay, then I know for sure this team will reach great heights in their career. Also, a little exciting news is that the DLC for the Outer Wilds just got announced, and it'll be called The Echoes of the Eye, and I'm super pumped for it, and it's going to be releasing in late September. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It was a blast to play this game and to write a review on it, and I'm super excited to make more content like this in the future and find those hidden gems in the world of video games. I wanted to give a huge shout out to the people who watched my Cyberpunk video and subscribed, and if you aren't subscribed and this is your first time watching one of my videos, thank you so much for sticking till the end, and please subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff. If you played this game, please leave a comment on what your favorite part was and what made you fall in love with this game like I did. Once again, a huge thank you to everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video.